Another day, another openpilot release. Alright, so testing the new nnff-sunny with the EPS models, EPS specific models. So before, the steering models were basically this combined data across all the different EPS models that a car have, and EPS is the electronic power steering unit. This same car model can come with quite a few different parts, and they have slight nuanced behavior differences, or actually even prevalent differences. But I mean, I don't know exactly what that all looks like. But anyway, doing a test today, checking out the behavior of this lateral control today. All right, starting off with some just standard driving on the street. Gonna take it onto the freeway, hit some curvy roads and such, and just kind of see what the day-to-day performance is looking like. Currently running with openpilot long. Not really gonna jump into experimental mode and all that stuff, but just kind of focus on the steering. I've been having this weird issue where in the past one or two couple of releases with the Sunny Pilot, where the car doesn't want to maintain the speed I set. I'll set 55 and it'll go usually around 2 under, so it'll go 53 instead of 55. It's not a huge deal, but it's it's a little bit off, a little bit weird. But it wasn't an issue before. I'm not really sure what happened, but we'll see. Not the focus today. Alright, so far I'm doing pretty good. A little bit of lane hugging here and there, but it's one of the difficult things is that I've seen a lot of lane hugging with this model, Moonrise, so it's always hard for me to say whether which is to blame. But overall, steering so far is really buttery smooth. It's really entertaining just to look at my wheel and just see how smooth it steers. With my default pit steering setup, it tends to be a little bit jittery. It's not jittery to the point where it's distracting or anything, but it's just that interesting contrast. So far, so good. I think these are very slight bends on this road, nothing too special, but not bad. When I'm recording a video, these red lights feel like they take 3 times as long as they actually do. Sometimes openpilot long, I don't know, it must be the time of day. It just decides sometimes I'm going to drive fast, sometimes I'm going to drive slow. So I'm just kind of guessing it by myself right now. Alright, we're almost to the freeway, and I'm gonna check that out. So there should be an on-ramp coming up soon. See how I haven't actually tested an on-ramp yet. I've tried this the steering in a few residential streets, but I haven't tried some faster driving yet. So my first evaluation to check out this on-ramp behavior. All right, openpilot long is driving like a maniac. All right, and yeah. It's kind of odd. It's like the steering actually gave out a few times. Like I saw the actual line go gray. Oh my god! Instead of just orange, which like usually indicates that you're overriding the torque. So I'm not really sure what happened there. We'll have to see if I can reproduce that later. Pay more attention to that. Openpilot long with its really long falling distance, but as long as it's steady, we're good. Okay. I mean, so far centering has been solid. Nothing to talk about here. The wheel wobble, minimal. It's extremely subtle and it's very delicate too. It's very slight. Like it's not wobbling rapidly, so it's not. So it could just be actual corrections for normal driving. Generally, I found that NNFF like keeps my wheel extremely steady on the freeway. It's like very delicately moving the wheel left and right, but nothing really to point out here. I mean, nothing really to be concerned about. Coming up on a decent little bend here. See how the centering, right? If get some lane hugging or anything. Yeah, really good. Okay, yeah, basically stayed green the whole time there, going around 70. Lane changes working handy dandy. Yeah, it's been really hot around here, and lately I'm guessing that storm that's coming around Southern California has been pushing up some clouds this way too. It's been cloudy past couple days. It's pretty unusual for summer here. Usually just scorching hot. But not bad for a drive. Oh, and yeah, now that I said that, a few raindrops are coming down. Fantastic. Yep. Love it. I don't think I've actually never driven openpilot in like proper rain. I mean, this is like just a little tiny drizzle, so I can't imagine this impacting it much, but yeah, definitely curious to check it out in some heavier rain sometime. Alright, taking an off-ramp here. The model picked the wrong turn. A little bit of oversteering. Let me just double check a setting real quick. Okay. Yes, I was checking if I had the pause lateral below speed setting on, but I do not. Which my car can't really do. I mean, sometimes it can sort of do them like 90-degree left and right turns, so I usually keep it on, but just for testing the max steering control, I'd leave it on. Like this, it cannot do. It'll just run into that. Alright, so hitting some slightly curvy roads, getting a lot of warnings, although it didn't really have any problems handling that turn, so I've noticed, yeah, with NNFF, I get a lot of the steering control warnings even when the car is doing the turn just fine. So it must be like some sort of, planner thing where, I don't know, something's not matching up, but regardless, it's not too much of a concern. These are the finishing touches. Yeah, so far, yep, it's hanging a little bit to the right, of course, but it's also the right lane, so it's not necessarily bad. Since I know laneless doesn't always stay in dead center. It tries to be a little bit more natural. Alright. Got a merge here. All clear behind me. Yeah, doing pretty damned. Yeah, it is a little bit to the right, but looks like it's nothing like worth panicking about, at least on this road. And it's always hard to tell, like, if it's just the model, the MR model. I'll kick up the speed a little bit. Got a decent little curve coming up. Yeah, no real hesitation there. Lane change in a curve. Okay, got a little angry there. It's hugging the right a tiny bit, back to the center. Stopping. Yeah, now when I stop, my car looks like it prepped for a left angle turn, like right as soon as I stop. See how that pans out. Alright. Oh, yeah, it just goes straight back to center. Well, yeah. Hugging the right a little bit, but centered itself. Slow relax. It's interesting looking at some of the distance detection deviation. Like I saw it go up from 4.1 to 3.3 meters for the car in front of me, which looks like almost a whole meter off for something that's not moving whatsoever. Yeah, pretty interesting. Well, this since openpilot longer for me is visual only, so I always enjoyed just nitpicking the behavior. Long light, wow, 2 minutes. Whew. Of course, I turned into when they just had turned left already, but still. Click, 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 click. Come on, how many times is this blinker gonna click? It's amazing how much of our lives we waste driving, especially me. You know, I'm just driving for fun. I'm not even driving for anywhere. I'm just driving around. 2 minutes 45 seconds. Wowee. All right, no chance at a turn. Let her rip, openpilot. It's getting pretty dark now, so I imagine video footage is gonna get pretty bad. A lot of unnecessary braking from openpilot, but let's keep going. Red. Oh, what the hell? That was a hard stop. I switched to experimental mode and the thing just decided to brake super hard. Green light. Man, this truck sounds like it's like racing me, but it's going 40 miles an hour. It's like zoom, zoom, freaking lane. Gear changes and whatnot. Again with the speed off by 2. It's a fun error, really freaking fun error. Now it's off by 1. This guy must be using openpilot. He's just randomly hitting his brakes when there's no one in front of him. Just kidding, that's a Tesla. The overall, I mean, pretty smooth drive. Oh, don't run into these guys. Yeah, just stop car to oh, yes, thank you. I was already braking. All right. Yeah, so far really pleasant experience. Yeah, not much to complain about here. Like extremely slight instances of hogging, but negligible. Yeah, overall, these this EPS specific model has been extremely smooth at driving. I've noticed like one of the odd factors for me is that like it doesn't seem to steer as much as the combined model, like in terms of like the steering angle. But I mean that's mostly for extreme turn for you know for regular for most like driving like what I've been doing now. It hasn't been even noticeable. Been really blessed with these red lights today. Just red. It's like it's almost 8 o'clock, and like what are we stopping for? Give it a shot at making this left turn. Almost. Not bad. Not bad, Honda. You tried so hard. How about this one, Honda? Right turn with no blinker. Can you figure it out, Honda? And no, you can't. Alright, let's see what we got going on. This is our slower and tighter roads. Some decent bends coming up, so we'll see how openpilot handles those. Usually, that ends poorly, so we'll see. I'll just go and manual gas and brake here. So this is a lot of braking for some reason. Yep, didn't try too much there. That's like a pretty sudden turn over a hill, so model device has a hard time seeing that, I guess. Otherwise, I find the planner tries to prepare for those turns a little bit earlier. A few decent bends around 30-ish. Got the warning, and it's right in the center. I corrected it a little bit just because there's opposite traffic. I don't want to scare people too bad, but yeah, this is in the name of science. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this one is riding way to the left, like uncomfortably close, but I've seen that happen before, and I'm gonna wager that is the model. I think for some reason it thinks it's safe to do that. I don't know why. decent bend, handled that elegantly. I mean, it was like, it did a sharp turn there, but it did it well. It also stopped for the stop. I mean, it saw they got car as it was stopping, but yeah, it stopped for the stopped car, so I was happy with that. Leaving a huge distance in front of me now. Just an open pilot long. This guy is behind me, tailgating me. But nothing to worry about. I have AI immunity. Overall, decent. Thumbs up for the EPS model nnff, and oh my god, please brand this, please. nnff-sunny.